Hi, Rylan. My name is Mr. Clark, and I am a math teacher. So I understand that you've been having a little difficulty with some subtraction. So hopefully, I'm here to help. So, what we're looking at here, a good way to remember how to subtract is using something called a place value chart. I'm sure you've seen them before, but I'm going to teach you a different way. So hopefully, you will be able to understand how this works. So what I like to do with my students, I actually teach fourth grade math, but what I like to do with my students is we draw the place value discs themselves. And then what we do is we learn how to use the place value chart to subtract the problem in the algorithm. So let's go ahead and take a look at one. I'm going to go ahead and draw a place value chart, and I'm going to have you do the same thing on paper. A place value chart is just a big rectangle like this. And I'm going to split this rectangle into three partitions or parts, okay? And I'm going to put a little heading on the top here. So we're going to start on the right side of our place value chart, and we're going to label this column ones. The next column is going to be tens. And it's kind of hard to write on the computer, so if I'm sloppy, I'm sorry. And then the third column is hundreds. Okay, I'm just going to say HUND for hundreds. Okay. So let's look at a problem. All right. So I'm going to put a problem here on the right. And the problem is going to be 42 minus 19. Okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to build the number 42 on our place value chart. All right. So we know that 42 has two ones and four tens. All right, so we can see the two ones right here and the four tens right here. Okay, so let's build that over here. So to build, we're going to start by building the ones first. So I'm going to go ahead and build two ones, and I'm just going to use place value discs. I'm just going to draw circles. So that represents two ones, and now four tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our four tens and two ones are represented as 42 on the place value chart. So we're going to go ahead and now subtract. So I need to subtract 9 ones, but the problem is I only have 2 ones. So I have to find those ones somewhere else. So what I can do is it's called unbundling. I'm going to unbundle a 10. So what that means is I'm going to take one of these 10s and I'm going to bring them over here, okay? And when I bring a 110 over to the ones place, it actually creates 10 ones because we know that 10 ones equals 110. So I'm going to break this 10 apart into 10 ones. So I'm going to go ahead and add those here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now, by breaking it apart, look at what I did with the tens place. That 10 is no longer a 10. It's now considered 10 ones. Okay? So let's look at what that looks like on the algorithm. So what I did here is I crossed off a 4, and you can see now I have 3 tens on my place value chart, so that's where that 3 tens comes from. And I used to have 2 ones, but now let's look how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now instead of 2 ones, I now have 12 ones. So that's why I cross off that 2 and I write 12 instead. Okay? So now I want to look at my place value, or my algorithm here. I need to make sure I have enough ones to subtract. I have 12 ones, and can I take 9 ones away? I absolutely can. All right, so let's see what that looks like on the place value chart. So on the place value chart, if I want to subtract ones, I can do one of two things. I can either erase or I can just cross them off. So I'm going to go ahead and cross them off. Let me cross them off here with a little bit larger one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now by crossing those off, let's see how many I have left. 1, 2, 3, and I know 12 minus 9 is 3. Okay. Now let's take a look at my tens place. Can I subtract 110 from the 3 I have? And the answer is yes, of course. So I can take 1 away. I can just simply cross it off. And you can see I have 2 tens left over because 3 minus 1 equals 2. Okay? Now what I always tell my students is to check. And how they check is they add the answer to the next part and see if it equals that. So 3 plus 9 equals 12. That's correct. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So I know that 42 minus 19 must equal 23. Okay? So let's take a look at another example. Let's go to a next screen. And for all of these, we want to draw our place value chart just like I did here. All right, let's look at another one. How about this one? 75 minus 46. All right, so 75 minus 46. And again, I'm drawing my place value chart. And I'm drawing the algorithm next to it. All right, let's go ahead and build 75 first. Well, 75 has 5 ones in it, so I'm going to go ahead and draw those ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm going to build 7 tens. So in my place value chart, I want to build 5 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 more. I'm going to start a new row. And there we go. Okay? So I have 7 tens and 5 ones, which represents 75. Now let's see if we can subtract. So I have 5 ones. I need to subtract 6. I don't have enough ones, so I need to get those ones from somewhere. Well, if you remember from the previous example, I need to get them from the tens place. So I'm going to go ahead and bring over, I'm going to unbundle 110 into 10 ones. So I can build that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I broke apart that 110 into 10 ones. Well, now let's see what we have here. So on the algorithm, I had 7 tens. Now I have 6. So I'm going to cross that off and create 6. And in the ones place, I used to have 5 ones, but if I count them, now I have 15. Okay? So I want to look at my algorithm. Do I have enough ones to subtract? Can I take 6 away from 15? Yes, I can. Can I take away 4 tens from 6 tens? Yes, I can. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Remember, we cross them off or erase them, whichever one you want to do. I'm going to start erasing crossing off 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 9 left over. 15 minus 6 is 9. And then I take away, I'm going to cross off 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. I'm going to check it. 9 plus 6 is 15. And 2 plus 4 is 6. All right? So I know that works. All right, let's look at an example of one that is a subtraction with 3 digits. Okay, nothing changes. It's just an example of using 3 digits. All right, so how about we do this? 200 minus 73. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to build our 200 first. Okay, so 200 has 0 ones, so I don't have to draw anything in the ones place. 0 tens, nothing in the tens place. And 2 hundreds. So I'm going to go ahead and build 2 hundreds discs. Okay, so there's our 200s represented. Now I want to subtract 73, so I have to subtract 3 ones first. Well, I don't have any ones, so I have to go to look at the tens place. Can I drag something from the tens place? No, I can't unbundle a 10. So I have to go all the way over to the hundreds place. And I'm going to go ahead and unbundle 100. Now we know that there are 10 tens in 100. So I'm going to cross one of those off, and I'm going to build 10 tens from that 100. Okay. There we go. So there's our 10 tens. Okay, so let's go back to the ones place now. I still need to subtract 3 ones, but I don't have any ones. So now I can go to the tens place. Can I take one of those tens and unbundle it? I sure can. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and cross one of those tens off, and I'm going to build 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So now I can look back and see, do I have enough ones to subtract 3? Yes, I do. And do I have enough tens to subtract 7? The answer is yes. So let's look at what we did on our place value chart, and let's put it into our algorithm model. So what I did here, you look at my hundreds. I'm going to go ahead and cross off 2 hundreds, and I now only have 1, as we can see in our chart. And I had 0 tens. Now I have 9 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I had 10, and then I unbundled one of those 10 to create 9. Okay. Now when I unbundled that 10, I created 10 ones, as you can see here. Okay, so I had 10 tens when I unbundled 100, and I had to unbundle one of those to create 10 ones. Okay? All right, so now I have enough. 10 minus 3, let's go ahead and subtract on my place value chart. 1, 2, 3. I have 7 left over. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There they are. And now I want to subtract 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have 1, 2 left over. Now let's subtract 100. 1 minus 0 hundreds, that's going to give me 100 left over. So I have 100, 2 tens, and 7 ones. 127. Let's check it. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Yes, that's correct. And 2 plus 7 equals 9. That's correct. 1 plus 0 equals 1. That's correct. So I know 127 is correct. Okay? All right, so I hope this helps you, Rylan, and I really like using this place value model so you can see exactly what's happening when you're subtracting in place value. Okay, if you have any questions, just have your mom send me another text, okay? Good luck.